Will Damian Crawford talks his shocking political defeat.
It is important that we show people power.
And sheds light on whether the political defeat derails his progress in advancing the Jamaican entertainment industry.
I am not the one who let your career took a dive.
How on God's earth Mr. Vegas manages to be loud, outspoken, and even confrontational in social media.
We have too much grudges and belly for no reason.
Yet PG-13 in dancehall. All those stories, including the International Reggae and World Music Awards, IRAMA. This week's E-News and the video stage are all coming up. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am Winford Williams. We'll be back.
Vegas tell me what say a trouble you a look. When you're not going back, go back on your Facebook.
See that now, you take it personal. Oh, you fi bring up on me ex-gal.
Reaching more and more screens around the world every week. Onstage. So much more than entertainment.
Welcome back. These are the stories making our E-News and reviews this week. Every year, it seeks to reward outstanding work in reggae and world music.
Thank you.
It's the International Reggae and World Music Awards, IRAMA, and all set right now to tell us who gets the nod for what. And it's all happening at this beautiful Bailey Hall at Broward College in South Florida. Come with us, let's see what's happening on the inside.
Well, it's gone well so far, can't complain. There's always room for it to be better, but it's wonderful.
It's a good feeling and a good vibe, and we're really thrilled to be here back in sunny Florida.
We have the license for mad. You know? So don't go around getting mad now if you don't have the license for it. Yeah, we have it. The madness for Onstage.
Top celebrities in the building include Nomads, Ishana, Taurus Riley.
Any awards I keep where I did reggae music in Jamaica, I support it.
Onstage, Dean Fraser, AJ Brown.
We do what we do out of love, so trust me, let the love flow, man.
IKEA and Carlene Davis.
I'm excited to be here. I mean, it's been many years, from the early years of IRAMA, and here we are again.
Gully Bob.
From the gully to the award.
Skip Marley.
Well, tonight I'm presenting the Bob Marley Entertainer of the Year Award.
Rowan Gunter and Joe Bogdanovich.
You know, it's great to be here. It's a different kind of scene, you know, and I think that reggae and dancehall is live and getting better.
You have to respect this award, you know. This Bridget Martin has really walked the planks for this award and this music, and right now there's nothing much for us to support that is an award in our music.
Yo, this is Shatta Wale right out of Ghana. On stage, watch it. Shatta Wale say, click, clack.
Tonight is wonderful. Gully Bob surprised me and turned up here.
Okay. So Gully Bob is in the building.
Gully Bob is in the building.
That's the surprise of the night?
That's the surprise of the night, boy.
You're nominated?
Yeah.
In the category of new artist, best new artist?
Yeah, best new artist in the whole entire world. Bob.
Okay.
But that's Miss Chin. She should be here, you know, but...
The love's still very strong, buddy.
Strong. That love that can't get weak. That love that with me and Miss Chin is like high voltage. No 110 thing, 240.
Give him a round of applause, everybody.
As usual, the awards presentations were interspersed with performances. However, this year's performers and genres
get rough, way too rough, you see. My God, you know what, like me.
Were as varied as the award categories.
just saw the South African performers, and then the performers, the dances also, which took us around the entire African spectrum. And so that, in addition to representatives from Haiti, from Jamaica, and we're just thrilled, that it actually is the International Reggae and World Music Awards.
The winner is
At the end of the proceedings, Etana went home with the most trophies.
All of you who, are my fans, supporters of my music too as well, or just reggae music in general, thank you.
A total of 3, including Best Vocalist.
Taros Riley.
Other big winners are Taros Riley and Omi with 2 each.
Rasta.
While AJ Brown received an induction in the Irama Hall of Fame.
This is a milestone.
You'll always be my father, my friend. The music from Jamaica, I make it better, what I find non-stop.
Sexy songstress Ishana made her debut at the International Reggae and World Music Awards last weekend and was quite the fashionista. Nominated for Best Female Artist but was not the victor. Does she feel robbed of the trophy?
No, I don't. I know, because I was also nominated with other great artists in the category. Lady Saw, Spice, they're great artists. So anybody that gets it, it's well deserved.
The cheerful giver took the time to give us a quick update.
I have my new single, Ooh La La. It's doing amazing. I'll be shooting a video for that very soon. I just launched my website, ishanaworld.com. So, everybody can go and check out everything on it. Just a lot of stuff. I'm working on my album, working with John FX, and we're producing a lot of new stuff. So I want everybody to look out for that.
Compete for your loving like a contest.
Among the burgeoning trends in Jamaica at the moment is the infiltration of comedians onto the scene, both in terms of vloggers like Quiet Perry and Prince Marnie, and stand-up comedians like Dufton Shepherd and Johnny Daly. But comedy boss stand-up comedian Rohan Gunter, who relocated to the United States in 2013,
I migrated to Florida and I'm enjoying it.
Seems to be on the brink of mainstream success.
I am crossing over because I've been doing some American stand-up shows.
As witnessed at his show-stealing performance at the Iramas recently in Florida.
Aki and Saltfish is the national and Shibada is the national.
His presentation had the audience in stitches and was that of a man who clearly is on his way to mastering his craft.
We're going to need an interview with you next week, Friday. You see, if I move that card from my left ears and bring it over to my right ears, that becomes an international card. My slogan is, "Me nah laugh." And the reason why I say "me nah laugh" is because I take comedy very serious. Now, a couple of times I've been on stage show, and it's not a very good feeling to be booed off stage. But what I realized that when you get booed, it sends you back to the drawing board. So you need to come back firmer and stronger than how you were before. So what I did, I took all the errors and all the performances that I've seen from different comedians and then started to put it together to where I'm at right now. Yeah, normally in Jamaica, I have been working one job, 18 years. When I come to the United States, 1 year, 18 jobs.
Sean Paul and Sasha.
Most will remember Sasha as the songstress, most popularly known for this massive hit with Sean Paul. Well, the man getting most of her love these days is our Heavenly Father, whom she is now serving full-time.
Working for the Lord. I know my fans miss me, but it's all about the soul right now.
Yes?
Yes.
And how long has this been?
Oh my God, about 8 years.
So all the time we haven't been seeing you on the pop scene and the reggae space, you have been here doing...
Just straight up gospel.
Florida?
Yes, all over. I've been ministering all over the world, and God is good.
Ministering? Are you a minister now?
Absolutely. We'll talk about that later.
Onstage sponsor KFC has added 3 new reasons why they are among the top fast food chains in Jamaica. At a private event on Wednesday afternoon, select persons were introduced to the 3 new zingers, the Western, Hawaiian, and Inferno.
Zingers is our #1 sandwich, and we stopped and we thought about it and said, how could we make it better? We said people clearly love it, they want more of it, so we decided to extend the product line and get 3 new flavors and 3 new sandwiches. So we've added bacon, onion rings, barbecue sauce, Hawaiian, pineapple, delicious items.
And having tasted them ourselves, we concur. A quick FYI, did you know that KFC Jamaica is among the best in the world?
KFC Howard Cook Boulevard is definitely the #1 restaurant in the world. KFC Jamaica is actually #2 in terms of growth in the entire world. So KFC, we've won numerous awards for marketing, as well as the young president was visiting, and we got the #1 original recipe in the world. So KFC Jamaica, we are really representing for Jamaica, and we are really doing things bigger and better at KFC.
All right, still to come right here on stage, Damian Crawford opens up on crushing political defeat and sheds light on whether this defeat impacts his career in the entertainment ministry. Meanwhile, Mr. Vegas is one of the most confrontational, most contentious in social media, yet PG-13 in music. How does he do it? He'll be here to answer. But first, videos making our video stage after the break.
I feel like jamming to the reggae beat. Bubble up your body, just move your feet. I feel like jamming to the sweet vibe.
Reaching more and more screens around the world every week. On stage, so much more than entertainment.
Welcome back. These are the videos making our video stage this week.
This is the latest release from Songbird Elaine's latest album, 10 of Hearts. Don't Walk Away, featuring J Book.
I'm not perfect and I understand, but I promise that I will be a better man.
It is so hard to trust you still. You say to give it a try. Don't walk away before we say goodbye. Baby, please stay.
It's RDX, and this song is what you have come to expect from the colorful duo. This is Back and Forth.
Back and forth, back and forth, y'all back and forth, rock it, back, forth, back and forth, back and forth, y'all back and forth, rock it, back, forth, back and forth, back and forth, y'all back and forth, rock it, back, forth, back and forth, back and forth, y'all back and forth, rock it.
Bling Dog and The Creature may have fallen out of good graces, but glory be to the producer of the track that brought The Creature to life in the first place, and the man who still believes in his talent. Esco is the producer we're talking about, and this new track features Quick Cook and The Creature, a new dance called Glory.
Creature, special feature. Peer girl couldn't stop her from reach her. We dance left them a leech her. Quick Cook come get them that speech her.
Smooth, smoother than cotton. Mr. Wacky got body and not summer. When as you walk on the way, please start flatten. Feel like we come from shop. The new dance streets boss, everybody have to try. Push up your like you are top this
From an aspiring reggae artist near tragedy, and now a paved road to success. This one is a winner. Danai with Put Another Reggae on top.
Just like a buffalo soldier, we're fighting to keep our music in existence. While they copy from a distance, because there's no resistance. But this owner ain't no zoner. I have to defend what's mine, cause them never hear and deaf. So me nah go see I'm blind.
A song based on his past experience. Maestro Don with Ungrateful.
Feel them could have broke my man. I chew me not just violence. Them feel the thing would have stopped, but them shock and now them want bust my head. Me I come from far up figure. Mankind frisky and them we want damage up. But where there's a will, there's a way. And the more them fight, the harder me go.
And those are the videos making our video stage this week. Stay with us. Still to come right here on stage, Damian Crawford opens up on crushing political defeat and sheds light on whether this defeat impacts his portfolio in the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment. And Mr. Vegas, loud, outspoken, and even confrontational in social media, yet PG-13 in music, in dancehall. Can you imagine? Mr. Vegas will be here to explain. Oh, coming up. We'll be back.
Broke it on, 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 broke it, broke it, broke it.
Reaching more and more screens around the world every week. On Stage. So much more than entertainment.
Three politically charged issues dominating conversations in Jamaica at this time. Britain's push to build a prison on the island to house Jamaican convicts serving time behind bars in Britain. Reparation for slavery, and a shocking defeat to Damian Crawford in representational politics. Damian Crawford is the flamboyant, dreadlocks-wearing young member of the People's National Party, PNP, who became a rock star in Jamaican politics from challenging the political establishment, including his own party. In 2010, Crawford pulled off his first major political victory when he won the East Rural St. Andrews seat for the PNP to become one of the youngest and the first dreadlocked member of parliament in Jamaica's history. The PNP won the election, and Crawford was soon appointed state minister with special responsibility for the entertainment portfolio in the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment in the new Portia Simpson Miller administration. The Honorable Minister's defeat in the polls for an incumbent candidacy in the next general elections is particularly shocking because it was widely perceived that he was doing a great job both as an MP and also as head of the entertainment portfolio. A big question from the entertainment sector right now is how will this crushing defeat impact the progress made under Crawford's leadership in moving the fledgling entertainment sector forward. That's why he's on our stage right now. Mr. Crawford, Minister, welcome, sir. Good to have you right here.
Thank you.
There was a protest in the constituency post the elections.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, there are some persons who were not in the main delegates and had no vote, but they were PNP supporters.
Yes.
There were 503 delegates. However, we had 10,000 votes as a PNP candidate.
Yes.
So there were many persons, 9,500, who were not delegates, but were core supporters of the People's National Party.
But where weren't they? Is there a limit to how many people can be delegates?
No, a delegate is based on a person who's a member of the party, which is different from a supporter.
So they were not registered members?
No. No.
And so why didn't you get them registered?
Well, there was a time that I wasn't going to participate. I had chosen not to run, so I didn't participate in the political organization of the constituency.
Okay, so you were indeed contemplating not going back?
Yes, yes. In fact,
so what made you change your mind?
I didn't have a vote, actually, on the day.
Okay,
so,
yes, so I noticed.
Yes.
So what made you change your mind about running
well,
and actually decide to run?
There are a lot of persons, when it was announced that I wasn't going to participate again, actually came asking that I should reconsider and participate again. In the same way that there were some who were saying, what's going to happen with entertainment now? Others were saying, what's going to happen with the education programs now?
Yes.
And so a lot of persons came to me and said, the party also came to me to ask to reconsider. And after a while, I thought to myself that I shouldn't back away from the challenges, but to face the challenges up front and seek to re-represent.
So where is the protest now? It's over, it's settled?
Well,
everything is settled
I have
in the constituency?
called, and I am calling on the persons protesting that we entered and we lost, so we must accept democracy as a part of the whole realities. There are some other things to be done. The party has the responsibility to put the best candidates forward, and we feel that the first hurdle as it relates to the delegates' vote. So to just relax a little bit and allow the process to take its course.
The new candidate has your support?
Yes, the new candidate is a People's National Party member, and I support the party. I support the ideology, the principles of the party, and what happened on Sunday doesn't negate the steps that we have taken forward as a party. So while I personally thought that I was a better candidate.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the delegates thought that the other person was a better candidate, and so therefore he receives my support as a party person.
Wouldn't this inspire a shift in the management of the constituency? If your successor wasn't there already supporting the programs that you're doing, wouldn't this protest create some kind of shift?
I don't know. He has to decide what direction he has to take. What I find unfortunate is many people don't accept that you have to give up something to get something. And so it will be impossible for him to continue all the programs and also do some welfare activities. The funds is not sufficient.
So welfare, you packed it, right? You
Yes.
packed the welfare
Yes.
stuff for education.
Well, welfare is poverty alleviation. That's
Yes.
short term. Education is poverty prevention. That's
Yes.
long term.
Okay.
So therefore, I could always do welfare to make a poor person live a little better. Or I can do education to make a person as a child not become poor in the future.
You won on being different. You won because you challenged the establishment.
Yes.
You had to do what you did. Isn't that a fact?
I was
you had to be
convicted.
different. You had to be long term. You had to go for change.
Yes.
Big change.
Yes.
And you were doing that, weren't you?
I was trying, yes. I was trying.
And you were defeated as a result of trying that.
Well, to an extent, because what happens is that the things that I implemented would have affected negatively the core PMP support more than it would have affected the constituents.
Yes.
So what would have been positive to the constituents would have been in some ways perceived negative to the core support. For example, back to school would have been in the main
Yes.
received by your core supporters. And so when you cut out back to school and build a road instead, it means that those driving on the road feel happy because they weren't getting back to school in the first place. But those who used to get back to school now feel sad because they are now getting less than they received before. And so the core support who used to get Christmas work are the ones that are now sad because I removed Christmas work to do road work. And so those things, I understand how they're negatively affected and their perceptions, but I think I didn't market it sufficiently.
Yes, that's a question.
Yeah.
How much do you blame yourself for the way you promote your ideas, the way you communicate your ideas to your constituents?
Yes.
Do you blame yourself
Yes,
at all for this loss?
If Coca-Cola is consumed, Pepsi can't blame the consumer. You must blame yourself as Pepsi to say whether the product wasn't sufficient or the marketing wasn't sufficient.
Okay.
There's no way that I'll say that educating and infrastructure development isn't a good product. And so therefore the marketing must have been insufficient. And I allowed my constituents to be exposed, the delegates, to rumors more than facts.
So is that the end of Damian Crawford in representational politics?
No, because I haven't changed the Noise Abatement Act yet.
All right, so wait a minute now. Let's go to that. Let's go to the entertainment portfolio because we can't wait to get into that.
Yes.
How does this impact that?
Well, I think it has been accepted that I was one of the greatest supporters of the entertainment as a economic contribution and a contributor. I think with Babsy Grange, we were the two that fought most for entertainment to be accepted as mainstream. And one of the problems that we had is that because the public saw it as recreation only, then government policy didn't come to satisfy entertainment as a movement into progressive and economic earning. And so that mindset would have caused for us to do many things, such as having for the first time entertainers be able to get tools of trade and carrying their equipment without duty. And that's one of the reasons why we were fighting for a change in the Noise Abatement Act to ensure that those who are not disturbing anyone could continue into the wee hours of the night because the country is too poor for all of us to be sleeping at the same time. You know, understanding that it was an economic benefit for those who are keeping their round robins and their events, because a factory that would have employed 100 people now employ 20. Machines have replaced human beings. And so a person who was once a part of the labor force now either sells something or keeps something.
Okay.
And that event that he's keeping, you can't put a man in a position that he can't now satisfy the market. You can't tell KFC to sell boiled chicken, even though it might be more healthy. The market demands a later party time, so the promoter can't promote an earlier party time. And so therefore we're saying that because everybody can't be asleep at the same time, equally everybody can't be awake at the same time. And so we don't want to prevent persons from sleeping, but we are putting in zones and we have communities that are accepting of events as a central part of their economic activity.
So this is work in progress.
We're at the last hurdle.
Do you lose your job as state minister as a result of this loss?
Well, if you're not in Parliament, the Prime Minister decides what happens after that. However, to
So
this
it's the
point,
Prime
I
Minister's
remain,
call.
Yes, but I still remain minister at this point.
Yes, you are still minister
yes.
up to the next general election.
So before I go, I'll have to ensure that we finish with the entertainment registry. As you know, that is very far ahead. We're now putting it on online. That we finish with events rating, so a parent can know that my child is attending this event and this is what I expect my child to consume. But even an adult should know that this promotion is on and this is what I expect to consume. And a sponsor knows, so you know this is what I'm supporting with my brand.
Okay.
We also must ensure that the zone, we have finished with the testing to ensure that zones are not disturbing people unduly. And now we're going to do the period upon which we're giving free access to the zone, the downtown zone, so persons would not have to pay for the place of amusement license, etc., so that we promote the use of the zone. And as I said, my commitment is that before I leave, the Noise Abatement Act should be reviewed to be more fair to those who are participating in
Sounds like you
entertainment.
make up your mind to leave.
Well,
even if the Prime Minister wants you, if the Prime Minister wins,
well, I'm
and
not
wants you to continue in the portfolio, would you?
Yes,
consider
yes,
it?
I'll definitely consider it, but I'm not putting the round robins in a position that if I am not there for any reason, it can't go on. Because I understand that there are many persons living because of those events. We had 26,000 events last year. It's a central part of our economy. And it's not only for the person who's a patron, it is for the person who now feeds his family by becoming a promoter.
Right, I'm glad you brought us up to speed on the entertainment portfolio, because that's critical, because that is one of the things that I think consumed so much of you that maybe you couldn't be so more sociable in the constituency. But some of the work, though, the achievements in the constituency as an MP.
Oh, well, for one, we moved constitutional primary from 60% literacy to 92% literacy.
Yes.
And we congratulate the teachers and the principal. But we made lots of financial investment and we designed a program. We also had all the children that attended our classes at 86% mastery in English in the literacy. The constituency average was 56%. Also, in between 2010 and 2013, we moved in every area of GSAT an improvement of at least 4 percentage points in math, in English, in social sciences. And we're saying to our kids that we are competing for the traditional schools with other children that are going to extra classes and go GSAT and private tutors. So we provided Saturday and Sunday classes for these students to ensure that they could get into these schools that will likely have higher CXC results. Because we know that there's an education apartheid that causes us to expect Campion to get 8 subjects, but to expect Tarrant to get 2. That is why we are elated when Tarrant get 5, but not concerned when Campion get 8, because we get more than we expected from what the system is. So I was trying to get more of our students to compete effectively to get into these traditional schools that could then provide the breakfast programs, because they have old boys associations and so money, alumni money,
But is
etc.
this the change that we all want in Jamaica? That kind of result?
Yeah, and I don't think my
in education?
In general, the constituency was in agreement. Because at the end of the day, as I said, you can have poverty alleviation or you can have poverty prevention. However, a lot of Jamaicans don't understand that there's an opportunity cost, that they give up something to get something. So they want both alleviation and prevention. And unfortunately, resources are not there. So we had a country where every man and them have food and nobody buying the groceries. So the pot empty. And now that the pot empty, every man still want them have food and don't want to buy the groceries. So people are saying you have to take your time to implement those things. You can't take time when you're in a crisis. A crisis means that we are one step away from no return. So if you're in a crisis, everything must be immediate and effective. And so therefore there was no slow introduction as far as I was concerned.
What's your political future, Minister?
Well, based on the response from the public, it seems that they agreed with what I was trying to do.
Okay.
And so if they agreed with what I was trying to do, then the more them get it should be the more they want it. So I should now continue to give them what they
so you're open for support
in
politics?
Definitely, definitely. I don't like politics itself, but I like government. And you can't have government without politics.
Do you have ambition for the top job?
Yeah.
Party leader and PM?
Anybody that is in politics should want to be the PM. Otherwise, they don't have ambition. So therefore, any teacher should want to be the principal. Otherwise, she don't have ambition. Now, after a while, you'd realize if your talents and capacities can achieve it. But at this time, I have that ambition, like all others who are willing to speak the truth.
Okay. Where are you on this proposed British prison?
Well, I think it is harder to accept because it's Britain. So you're looking at it from a clouded eye because you're saying those who enslaved us is now carrying a prison.
Yes.
But I don't agree with the backlash because there are many Jamaicans in prison who don't have a support system because they don't have family in England. They will benefit from such a system. So can you imagine you're in prison and you don't have a mother to carry some rice and peas one day? Can you imagine being in prison and you can't get a constant call or a visit? So there will be some persons, not everybody in prison is going to be there from they were 2. There are some that sought an opportunity, fell foul of the law, and that will assist them to be better. Equally, we need a prison. We need schools and we need hospitals, but we also need a prison because we have criminals.
But isn't it a matter of priority?
No, if it is that you get a gift of a prison, then the money that you have should be prioritized for schools.
Yes.
But a prisoner can be schooled, but him can't be sent to school. A person who is a criminal isn't sent to school. He's sent to prison, and he can be schooled in prison.
But shouldn't he be at the back of the line?
Can't be at the back of the line because he disrupts the society.
Yes, he should be at the back of the line in terms of his better treatment in prison.
No, but you need to rehabilitate this man, not just punish this man. A prison has 2 responsibilities, to separate and punish, but to rehabilitate and reintroduce. And so therefore you need a type of prison that when a person is reintroduced, he isn't a better criminal.
Okay.
So the people who are against Maradin's unfortunate demise can't equally be against a better prison. Because a person that goes in for a spliff shouldn't be in the same cell as a person who's in for murder.
Yes, but again, I will say that it's a matter of priority. I think that to cut the stream, the flow of prisoners,
so we do that with our money.
We do what you are doing in that East Russ and
yes, with our money.
Educate the kids.
So with our money, we had to have a prison. There's no society without a prison.
Right.
So therefore, I'm saying that we as a society now should demand of the government and Portia Simsimila. And again, we have bad ears and bad eyes because they also said they were giving another 300 million for other infrastructure.
Yeah.
They also said they're giving 60 million for health. So as much as I'm a little bit aggrieved because the British come give me a prison,
yes,
I understand that we also benefit. So they are seeking a benefit. They're not giving us a favor because they want to send 300, but we also have 1,200 who will not be reintroduced. The other part of the problem I have is what is the alternative? Now, what would we prefer? To have a person to be rehabilitated and then reintroduced, or to be reintroduced without being rehabilitated? Because the British court system, they can then say, instead of 10 years, you're getting 1 year and you go back to your yard.
All right, let's segue now to reparation.
Yes.
Your views on that?
I would want reparation because it will benefit the society. But at the same time, I don't see any political party in Britain being willing because the British people will not want to lose that money. Now, as much as we say that Britain developed, there are also black people in Britain that never benefited from the slave activity that happened in Jamaica. So, as I said, I would want it. I don't know how much we can demand it, but I think that it is more than just a Jamaica to British conversation. It is a global acceptance that slavery would have underdeveloped some societies. And therefore, the IMF would have to be in a conversation. Do you write off some debt because our soil would have been less productive, being that it was raped? Do you give us more grants because our people would have been more backward? For schools.
So we can stop.
Yeah.
We make less prisoners?
Right. But you have some bright prisoners too. I don't buy this argument about a man poor so he become a criminal. And why do you rape? Rape can't eat.
No, well, I say
you understand?
I mean, you would lessen the amount of people
you create opportunities and by extension have persons less willing to participate. Because prison to me is a stress to me now because I lose too much. When you have people that lose nothing by going to prison, they don't really mind. But the people who have are less likely to commit crime. So all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, I think that we're approaching reparations incorrectly because it's a global acceptance, not a British acceptance. Britain might have benefited, but the world must then say there are some persons that started the race with a hamstring injury because of the atrocities of slavery, and therefore we will contribute in this way. But let us not accept, or not fail to accept, that a lot of the problems we currently have were created also by ourselves, our own responsibility. I cannot blame slavery for what everything Jamaica is now facing, because we always wanted to eat our food and never wanted to buy the groceries.
Okay, sir. So there's so much we could debate about with that. I rest my case for now, and wish you well, and hope that things can change, and you will still represent the people of Jamaica in politics, and that you can continue your work in the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment.
Well, I am confident that entertainment is better off for me having been a participant. And I'm equally confident that the constituents have been better off. And so even if it is one term, I will sleep easy.
Okay. Well, Mr. Crawford, sleep easy, sir. Your future is bright. You're young. You've got a lot of years in front of you to come, you know what I mean? So don't worry, you'll get there, sir. Just keep the focus and the belief that you can make change in this country called Jamaica. All right, stay with us. Still to come right here on stage, a big campaigner in a different way. Mr. Vegas, he'll be here. We'll be back.
I say you got to love yourself, respect yourself, hey, love yourself. You can't love me if you don't love.
Reaching more and more screens around the world every week. On stage, so much more than entertainment.
Welcome back. He's considered loud, outspoken, and in some respects, confrontational on a wide range of issues.
You just not have it again, family.
But nowhere in his music is that Mr. Vegas reflected. For though a dancehall artist, his music is generally PG-13. And not only a big sampler of the roots one-drop sound, but also a tireless campaigner for its preservation.
Say you got to love yourself.
The provocative Mr. Vegas is on stage today to talk and sample his latest project in that campaign. Mr. Vegas.
Respect, man.
Blessed love, sir. So good to have you right here on stage.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's take the elephant out of the room right now.
Right.
A couple of elephants in the room, actually. The feud with Red Rat, where is that?
Yo, I didn't even know there was a feud in the first place, and I just, basically, I went to do a show at Roy Wilkins Park.
Yes, I saw that.
I was billed for the show.
Yes, I saw that.
Bobby came and said 20 minutes leave to go. The park is going to be closed in 20 minutes.
Yes.
So Bugle called an assassin, and Spragga ran on, and Rat ran on. And of course, I said 20 minutes to go, I could just bomb rush. So we just run on the bomb rush.
So you wanted to include him in the bomb rush?
No, he was already on stage.
Yes, so you were bomb rushing with him?
Yeah, it was like
So
artists.
you didn't care that he was up there when you were up
No, because I didn't know that me and him had any issues.
You didn't know?
What kind of issue? I don't know of any. The only time me and this guy had some form of argument
But they're
backstage.
bridging from way back?
Me and him was not that type of friend, that type of bridging. From Main Street days, is a youth and me and him not get along. We just maybe heal each other and go through. It's not like we're friends. Me and Goofy are friend.
Okay.
You understand? Me and Red Rat is never no type of friend.
So did you do what he said you do?
Do what? Do what?
He said
Winford, I saw on your program, this guy said 3 years or 2 years ago,
Yes.
I saw him with the girl and said some stupidness. You knew 3 years ago, you saw me in Europe at the same time Labor Day parade was going on. So I could not be in Europe and say something to this guy.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I was also in Europe the same time when Labor Day was going on.
We're in Brussels.
Right, so it's not even an issue. The only issue me and this guy ever had, I'm on the same Irish Jam show. And I'm backstage with Scuffrey, his manager. Walked in and was talking me and Scuffrey. I hear, Edsai, kill me the nose. Who's that I sing the song? When I look at him up on stage, I sing my song. And me I come on next, of course, him come off on stage and me and him kick off backstage. Me done with that from a long time, like 2007. Me don't know nothing about me and him have no bad vibe. Me don't know the only reason why I posted that video is because my son was standing right there when the whole mother, when him said something about my mother, I say, yo, sometimes you might lose a fan because you don't look around when there's certain things. Me not tell people, so me not tell people bad things
So
too.
he says there's no feud anymore. So why not just come on stage, come trash it out and
For
show
what?
the world?
There is nothing for me.
So
and this
will
guy
you
to
hail
talk
him
about.
up when you see him again?
Listen to me. You know, people have to keep the story alive because this is how the media runs. And
I'm not trying to keep it alive.
And story that doesn't make any sense. Nobody now.
I'm here to talk about your album, sir.
You see, people have to keep the stories alive because that's the way the world now. And guess what now? A new news come out. What people talking about now? Bunty and Shabba Shabba and Beanie Man in Trinidad. People are busy with the Red Rat Vegas story anymore. People tired of it. But me
I
just
know
tell
it is.
people,
That's why I can't waste no time.
I just tell people say, no goes away my talk about. Because you saw me in Europe the time when he said I told him that. You saw me in Europe performing the same time when Labor Day was going on. So it's stupid, it's ridiculous, it's not an issue.
Okay, there was an issue where you, some pedophile issue.
Right.
Where you spoke out against it.
Of course.
And it was misconstrued based on your...
Well, you know, people took it up on their head and said I was speaking about them, but many people could say that. A lot of people could say the same thing. There are people that are convicted of crimes here. There are people
okay now?
That has been charged with crimes here that I speak about. But I'm not pointing anything at any one person. When I speak about pedophile and rapists, I speak...
So why did you choose to speak about it at that
Why did I choose to speak about it last year? Why have I been speaking about it since I went on Sting?
So
like 8 years ago.
Happened in recent times?
When I went on Sting 8 years ago, and I spoke about Shanika Anderson and all these little girls that they raped and killed.
Yes.
I don't have to choose a special time to burn out rapists and pedophiles.
No, you've always been a campaigner
So if
against
people
that,
if there's an issue and people are talking about rapists and pedophiles, I'm going to voice my opinion and say, you know what, I don't like.
There was an issue at that time?
There's always an issue.
That same development in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Beanie Man and the Emperor.
Right.
First of all, my understanding is that he did not block Beanie. What's your understanding of the case?
I just think it's two icons. And, you know, I just wish both of them could make it happen. But knowing Beanie Man over the years and the story I heard that they wanted Beanie Man to perform 9 o'clock on tracks, I know that never would have happened. Because Beanie Man is not like a little opening act. Beanie Man is maybe one of our best dancer performer that we have ever seen.
Again, I understand. My understanding is that was the agreement. And Beanie
well, I heard from different sources. And it's just hearsay that Beanie Man did not know that he was going to work on track. He reached there and he found out. So all I'm saying is, Shabba Ranks is an icon. Beanie Man is an icon. It's just unfortunate that both of them couldn't share the same stage.
That's your take.
That's my take. That's my take on it because I can't say anything bad about Beanie. I can't say anything bad about Shabba because two of them, I would love to reach Shabba level to still be performing after don't finding a big song for the past, how much years?
Okay, so yeah, boy, you talk about everything. Damian's demise in his constituency. What's your take on that?
All right. When I saw the news, I was shocked because I just see Damian not as a politician.
Yes.
Because he come and he hang out with us and he called us into meetings and he said, what can I do to make the music better? What can I do to elevate this thing? What can I do to make you artists get paid for your work and stuff like that? So I was shocked, but at the same time, I don't know anything about his successor. So I cannot comment on anything about his successor. All I can say is, I just wish Damian had continued. I got the chance to continue doing what he's doing in the entertainment industry. I don't know if this other person is going to do that.
And in the constituency, yes.
Well, I don't know about that side of it because I've been following his work in the entertainment industry.
He told us about his performance in education.
Right, and that
test scores and so on.
Of course, and that's a big deal because you know, education comes first at all times. But the fact that he's trying to make things happen, he's trying to make artists can bring in a machine, without being taxed this ridiculous figures, sometimes more than we will pay for the machine. That is something that I was looking forward to.
Noise abatement.
Yeah, man, I see him fighting for us. So I am still disappointed, but I hope that his successor will take a page from his book and link with us.
Yes, well, the successor, in the constituency is not necessarily who will take over at the ministry, is his portfolio as junior minister.
Right.
So that has nothing to do with his portfolio in the entertainment, in the Ministry of Entertainment and Tourism and Entertainment.
Right. All right.
So
one thing I know for sure.
There's still a good chance he will continue in that.
Right. And the good thing about it is he's a very bright gentleman.
Yes.
And he will continue doing what he's doing.
Okay. let's talk about your new project.
Right.
I'm sure you can't wait to get
of
to
course.
that. Lovers Rock.
Which is right.
And the soul, right?
Right.
So why soul? Why you touch on soul to love to it?
You know that there's a part of it's a part of our culture for like cover songs and studio and rhythm, like the whole Ken Booth era, Alton Ellis, John Holt. You know, there's always been like cover songs and like some wicked studio and rhythm.
Okay.
So when I did Thinking Out Loud, at the cover of Thinking Out Loud, I did not expect, the response that I got from it. So of course, I just went into the studio with Clevie and said, you know what? I could just give them a whole album of Lovers Rock. Just some classical songs that we grew up listening to, some songs that I used to sing on Sound System.
Yes.
And the feedback is great.
Yes. You should come and perform it with a band. On stage.
Most definitely, because this is like feel-good music. You understand? And there's a space for it. And I'm always trying to do something different. I could have come with like an album with pure original tune, so forth and so on. But I just think this is a sing-along album. If you love the song, then you just sing along to them. And I want to be performing on platforms where people can just enjoy. Like when I was at Sumfest and I was singing like the Alton Ellis tune, them and Do You Know, one of them songs, I just felt good on stage. People were just singing along. So that is what I want.
Some say you're one of the smartest dancehallers. You're one of the richest, if not the richest.
I am way from being the richest.
You see what I said about it? But two things they say, and I can't find anything to contradict
No.
them.
But you see, that rich thing get me in trouble sometimes, because sometimes it get me in trouble in promoting my music. Yeah. Because people think, say, yo, him have money, so I'm supposed to pay for everything. And that gets me in trouble sometimes. I want to be rich. Because
Richer.
I want to be rich. I want to be rich because my ambitions are to help like poor people, people that need help, people like the mustard seed communities. Those are my ambitions. I don't worry about monetary things. I have to have things to feed my kids.
Yes.
Because it's my work and I'm a responsible father. But I just want to have things where I can contribute. That's all my ambition is, just to contribute and be somebody. Because when my mother passed away, when I look at my mother and there's no breath in her body, I said, what is my purpose on earth? So then I start, doing my MV con and more time just talking about things that people are afraid to talk about.
So how do you respond to the compliment then, that you're one of the smartest dancehallers?
Well, that's, when people say it, I'm humbled by it.
Isn't it because of this, you paying homage to the golden era of our music?
Right.
The best, some will say the best era in reggae's history, the first 20 years or so.
Right.
That you go into there and as a dancehaller, you search, you do your research, you find out what's going on. You not only embrace the music of then, you embrace the artist, you pay homage to the artist and the work, the body of work.
Right.
And you used it well to expand your brand, to ascend your brand to a more global market.
Because you know what, Winford? Jamaica is a blessed country and it gives you that break.
Yes.
When you get this break in Jamaica, it's for you to decide if you want to stay just a local artist or you want to travel the world and perform over the world. I've not had a major song since Broke It Down, which was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Broke It Down was my last major hit, where I was getting bookings just based on Broke It Down. What keeps me on the road now? Because I'm a performer.
Yes.
And when I go on stage, I'm singing Sweet Jamaica, I'm singing Love Yourself, I'm singing songs from the new album Lovers Rock and Soul, which will be released October 30th. So I just don't limit myself to just this audience.
So people overseas are booking you for two things. One, your catalog, right?
And
your stage and your stagecraft.
Because I think I do a lot of research on artists that can really perform. People like Barrington Levy, people like Bob Marley, even the same Beanie Man. People say, why Beanie Man? Because a dancehall artist. But Beanie Man, he just bring that charisma with him on the stage. And he knows to communicate with his fans. And I learned that from him when I was touring with him, when I just break. Nowadays, I don't think the artists, they're doing enough research to say, you know what, I want to be able to perform like John Holt, who just sit there and just belt out his voice, and his voice sounds just as good as the record.
Have you ever flopped on a stage?
Of course. What?
On a stage?
Yeah.
In recent time?
Maybe not in recent time. When I was in Zimbabwe, I think I didn't do as well as I wished when I was in Zimbabwe.
What happened there?
Because we went with a band and we rehearsed because I'm going to Africa. So I'm like, yo, Africa, motherland.
Tense.
What? No, reggae. Now go give them some wicked reggae tune and I rehearse the whole Sweet Jamaica reggae side of the album. and one bag of Bob Marley song. And
they want that song.
And the people them want some hot work and some. Yeah, start me sing and the people me say, oh, the African them look for me. So. But you know, I think we did okay. You know, some people born me out and say, you know, they wanted to hear the dancehall song them like the Vegas Heads Eye album.
You think so them don't know that?
And because I just thought this is Africa is a motherland, them just want to hear reggae, sweet reggae. So I just rehearse with the whole band like an hour reggae music.
Africa is big Jamaica, okay? Big Jamaica.
Well, maybe worse. Maybe worse.
All right, Viggy, so it's out. It's out when? The 30th of October?
The 30th of October.
Lovers Rock and Soul.
Yeah, man.
Who are some of the souls you're covering here?
Well, of course, in a Cyndi Lauper. Of course, the same Ed Sheeran with the Thinking Out Loud lead-off song. Babyface.
With Cyndi?
Cyndi Lauper with Time After Time. That is a track that everyone is really feeling on the album.
Yes.
My favorite is, you know, track.
Right,
but my favorite, I'm telling you, my favorite is all good. You know, my favorite is the cover of the Luther Vandross and Gregory Hines, There's Nothing Better Than Love. Because I grew up singing that on sound system.
Okay.
So it was like bringing that forward, you know, now, you know, it just made me feel like, you know, I revisit my past. Yeah,
nice. All right, sir. So there's more for you now. Anyone calling you on a stage right now, Vegas? Your catalog is so deep, your repertoire.
Right.
And so too is your stagecraft. We saw you in New York. That was magnificent in the same at the same event where the incident with Rat. After Rat grabbed the mic from you.
Yeah, why we have to keep going back to the Rat?
No, but you did well. I saw you. You had that crowd in a frenzy.
You know, the sad thing about this whole thing is, after I see the little thing I go on in and I say, yes, December, come, Leng, where you there?
Yeah.
Leng said, boom, I link where I say, yeah, man, see the money, as Leng will give me the money, so. Leng said, hear a song come out, and Leng said, but the Clash don't make it bad, I take back the money, so. I have to go Europe, money December. You say the Clash I go on, I'm going to eat a food star.
Works for you, all right. Would you have done it?
Listen to me.
If you would take a Clash big.
If I heard two big bad songs, like when Drake come and say, yo, Meek Mill, Ray and Roll. And Meek Mill said, come with a lame song now. Me say, yo, if me hear two bad songs, Winford, me da have to go do it, you know. Because me da say, Leng, 2 million, Fiend, 2 million, Fiend, Leng. See, so, me link Leng stand the man say, yo, the war not real, is a Christian war not fight.
All right. Red Rat. You might want your word for Red Rat.
Every day I say.
Become bigger.
The boy not hot. So me have to go into the snow now. That's the only thing that hurt me most about this thing now. Now me have to go into the snow in Europe in December, go look food, and because I easily eat a food that stink.
All right. Oh, goodness. All right, Viggy.
Yeah, man.
As usual, you're always welcome to our stage. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us, and we look forward to the album.
Yeah, man.
Winford Williams, on behalf of all of us, thanking you for joining us. We'll join us again next week for more.
Yo, the party and I give thanks a lot. More life. Give thanks a lot. More life. Give thanks a lot. Everybody dance and feel alive. Give thanks a lot. More life. Give thanks a lot. More life. Give thanks a lot. More life. Lord Jesus Christ will life. Give me life. Young God for the hot rice. With a curry chicken box this. Nice. One glass of lemonade full of ice. God provide the food, me not fitting price. God give everybody life. I say every man to have a wife. So make we party and rejoice. When you hear that song, you have to feel nice. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. Everybody dance and feel alive. Give thanks for life. More life. Give thanks. More life. Give thanks. Everybody dance and well, everybody say, up in the club say, but my nine.
Hi, thanks for watching our video. Hope you have enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel by clicking right here and enjoy so much more where that came from.
My nephew come tell me about one artist up at Whitehall. And when him me hear 2 track, the man a shoot off a cartel head like